Hey, hello world, looks like we're up on YouTube now. I'm going to start us on Twitch and Kick tonight, although I imagine it's been pretty quiet. Back into here while I get this figured.
Testing audio readout. $123.
It doesn't look like we're going to kick our Twitch tonight, that's fine. Let's get our development environment up. Hopefully the audio is coming through to you folks. I'm going to go ahead and populate the live chat system. So we use the already know how this works. Avatars represent live chatters. It's a custom system. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Alright, we will use the YouTube API and we want it to fetch all this information for us. Click start, and we will see if there is issues. So we might be pushing a server update out real quick. Let's take a look at changes related to server. Might it's for body access token, huh? Small update to push. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can just bypass it. Oh. Hello Octan, give me a second here and we'll have that avatar set up to the live chat. Looks like I've got an update to push out. How to store that functionality, so I better go do that now, right? Let's do it. Okay, remove for access. Let's open. Get that pushed out. We'll run that through Jenkins build pipeline. as always, make sure you like and subscribe. We want to break the avatar system by getting too many avatars in here. That's kind of the goal now. It's going to be like project. This guy. Oh no. It's only second to set up. There's one main thing that I'm going to accomplish tonight. That's integration into OBS via WebSockets. I'm going to get that set up. Then second to that is working on getting my own RTMP stream service up. So I'm going to code some additions to the native app. It's easier to stream all out and about. So some easy stuff and then some more complicated uncharted territory. That's okay. First thing we want to do is we're going to figure out our IP range. Let's test OBS instance. Hey, good question about the avatar arts. If you give me a second here, your live chat will actually be hooked up into them. So this is a custom system that I've built entirely on this live, at least for the last 3 to 6 months. But I've been developing software and stuff like this for 20 years now. And most of the art is from my childhood. I'll go wait on a build to complete so I can get this up for you. It's way more interactive when you see that you're part of the stream. Everybody gets a unique voice, a unique avatar, and there's a lot to unpack. So just waiting for this to complete, and I'll be able to run the server restart. So, you need an internship. You're looking to learn, you're looking to intern with the channel, buddy. Just kidding. I think games are actually a great way to get into coding. That's how I did it. My day job, I don't get to work on games there, but all the stuff I've learned making games for fun has worked really well in my career. Learn a lot about stuff that most web developers will never ever use, and stuff that they can use that they don't even know exists, like sockets, for instance, shaders, all sorts of stuff. All right, let's connect to the server. It looks like this build is completed, so connect to the server here. And we should have our live chats back up. As I've built this system, I hate to enjoy it and rely on it, so when it's offline, yeah, it's just quiet. It's not good. Docker compose build b. Alright, so we're going to reboot the server. You'll see the avatar chat displays a blue screen at death, and that's good. Give it a wee minute. Guys, once again, just make sure you like this video, because that's how people end up finding this stream. And as you're about to see, the more of us that are on there testing it, the better. And the ideas start flowing easier. It takes about a minute, 30 seconds for this to restart. Oh, it's already done. That's quick. So you'd probably be a little bit surprised, but this is all built as a web app. The whole world is dynamic. There's tons of different rooms. You can play with a controller if you want, but the thing we're interested in tonight is using it as a stream overlay in a sense. So now I go in here, just hopefully able to start this up without issue. Okay. Let's see. Start up issues. Sub counter is working. So I'm going to have to attach to the server here and put some stats. .ps. Gives me the Docker container ID. I'll take that and we'll tail it. fetch video ID. Hope I've not been given in trouble again by YouTube. It's always a possibility here. Oh no, there you go.
Says, from
so
where are we getting this
there's your
arts?
avatars in there, guys, the ones that have already interacted with the stream. It does pull them all in at once when I reconnect it, but if you speak now, you'll be able to hear each other on stream. Just keep in mind that it's moderated and it's quite sensitive. It does ban people. I've not had too many issues with it, actually. I think most people just don't even know what it is. I need to figure out why my headphones are not letting me hear what's happening there, so let's mess around with that now. And hello. And then you get an avatar on screen. YouTube's automated little said hi message. For whatever reason, they didn't send that in the API response of the chat messages, which I prefer. I wish they did. Look at this. We'll check headphones. So none headphones. But as long as you guys can hear each other, that's a good start. Doing some JavaScript tonight. A little bit of React and a good bit of nodejs. So a few folks listening will probably know what OBS is, right? If you watch other streamers, which I've seen you do, a lot of streamers use tools like Streamlabs and OBS. And I wrote a little plugin of sorts that integrates OBS. So I'm going to take another look at that tonight. But I need to first restore my headphones. Connected. That's a little bit better. Now I need to do the same for Kynto. What? All right. So every part of this little avatar system you see on screen, it's built to be modular. I have another laptop here. I'm going to be setting up a test OBS instance, and I'm going to have to grab its IP, local IP. So let's do that now. And then I'm going to work on laying out a UI in React that's going to show recording, start streaming, and some basic scene switching. But, I think we'll go to Blast for that tonight. Move some of the harder stuff for the rest of the week. Some from network. What we're going to do is we're also going to redeploy a version of this avatar system to a local server I'm running in the house, so we can do some cheeky stuff that I'll explain why once we get a bit closer. Okay, so we're looking for 108. Let's populate some info in our stream here, such as connection info. Bit for IP, so 10.0.108 4.4.5. I already had that in there, but that's fine. Actually, let's get rid of this. Should refresh the RAM in my head with some of this code I've written in the past. Start stream, stop stream, start record, stop record. Perfect. There's a way to feed in a password. So let's just set the default one, password. Brilliant. And we don't have any good error login set up. Do we want to do that? So when I call set state here, there's an opportunity to do some login there. Let's go and have a look. Right here. This is it. All right, we are logging in. Let's go ahead. Info. Okay. We'll test this in local, so it's going to require reload. But before we get there, what we might want to do is actually do a new UI. So if you take a look what I've done here already, hard to see on YouTube. That's all we're blasting to tonight. That's fine. If you look up here, it has all this list of Twitch support, Discord, YouTube, which is what we're using, Kick, TTS panel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add another entry for OBS. And this is only for people that create a room that are creators, like streamers. So let's find that folder. Let's get out of server. Let's go. Sometimes it's quicker. You just know the path name to navigate the switch. So hop in there. See, I've got like 5 or 6 different components already. We're going to create an additional one for OBS, obs.js. Then start coding. All right. What should we call it? OBS manager. I'm taking a prop right now. We're going to set up some state management. Use some new state. It's set as connected state false. Okay, for our UI, it's going to be relatively simple, isn't it? Probably just going to be a list of buttons. Do it in a stack, I suppose. That there. We're using React Bootstrap for the UI components. Horizontal. We're just going to make a bunch of buttons to do what we want. My philosophy in programming something, especially if you're getting into coding or you're working on a personal project, it's okay to put some crappy code together just to prove your concept to get it up. It's always easier to come in afterwards and either rewrite it or just refactor it into what you want. But we're looking to build, and users are more interested in what you see, what they see at the end. They're not going to be looking at your code as much, but you get to see both perspectives of that. You get to see the code and you get to see what I'm building. If anyone has any questions, please do let me know. So we want one button for disabled. Let's just blast through this. One for disconnect. We are going to need a place to show some properties of the connection as well. We want some buttons to actually record and stream, right? Start with recording. If you wanted to develop a game, or you are developing a game, what would you want it to be? What would you call it? What would you code it in? These are questions that I ask myself. I'm curious, we might have to pull up some API docs to get a little further into this. It's recording. Looks like ESLint has decided to stop working for the duration of the stream. That's okay. You should stage should be in. Who will be done? It's gonna. There we go. We're also going to want some text input because we're not always going to be storing the connection from the server. It's not good. So let's just go ahead and set up for that. What was that local IP? It was 108. And the port range will make dynamic as well. Not range if we specify the port, but that's going to be a number. It's 4455. So we're gonna have to export this. So we'll export this right now. Export defaults. And then we want to go into we have an accordion, which kind of makes it easy to have all these UIs in one component. we're going to add an additional item. If I was to do it all over again, I would use Tailwind. Just build all my components out the box. So we'll probably end up getting there, even with this project. It's old enough that I have no doubts that I'll still be working on it in a year. That's for sure. The Tailwind, you just get way more control over what you want. So missing some localization in here, but it's mainly me seeing it right now. And we're kind of doing this work with the goal that I'll be going to visit my brother and family in Scotland. And I want to bring Kynto on the road, so that means being able to bring those that engage through live chat and get themselves an avatar. So as I'm exploring my home country, I'll be able to hear what you guys think. We have some ideas for that, because imagine you're watching the stream and you're able to like say, turn right, turn left.
Davian says, what's the framework?
Hey Davian, great question. Use a couple of frameworks in this system. The one I'm working on for the front end of the UI component of this is React. Do a lot with it, so please feel free to keep the questions coming. Let me know what you like working with. That stuff is good stuff. Import OBS manager. Oh, right on. How long have you been working with React, and what's your thoughts of it? I use Vue 3 at work, but I use React at home. I think it's not defined. It's something wrong. But I also use nodejs for the backend. I'm curious if you've ever worked with WebRTC, because that's how I do the streaming stuff here. If you look at this, I can share camera and desktop, and that's how I'm doing it to put the stream together. What I'm doing now is to kind of continue making this more powerful for me to make my own streams in. So right now we have office streaming down, but I want to get out and about. But I have an error to debug here, I'm not too sure. So if we pop out that one. And the React errors are quite cryptic. So it works for everything else here. See, there's an accordion. I have a little typo somewhere. Oh, that's why. Accordion, not accordion. Oops. That's on me. state is not defined. Let's go add that in there. Auto import should have been doing that. Yeah, nope, wrong place. Alright, there's a crappy little OBS panel. The first thing I'm going to do is restart the local server. So I did make some changes over there, let's go see them. Looks like I should actually pull in a payload here in a second. Also, we could replace these thens and catch with just await. It's way cleaner. That's what we do everywhere else. What are we dispatching out? I should make a spot. And for those with a keen eye, you'll notice that the server is composed of require and import. It was created in a time of flux, and there's a lot of code that needs to be refactored, or at least moved over to modules. And do use TypeScript, it works. People enjoy it. I do too, but I was not using TypeScript when I created this project, and it does introduce additional complexity when I've given myself enough. Right, so when this starts, actually, we've got some events to dispatch. So let's create a couple of handlers. We don't have any UI update systems for yet, so what we'll do is start. Import that for me. Oh, we're missing an arrow. Before arrow functions, as in JavaScript, suffered greatly. We had to use bind, we had to use apply, we had to use call. All of that just to maintain literally this context. Let's carry on here. That's not coming out of it. We'll see if our mapping's correct in the backend at least. So we set up its calls where I expect to handle all the incoming requests, which are connection logic, and like this. That's right. Should be connected first, that's fine. Hold the action length, and then our properties. We have an opportunity to kind of rename some of this. One out from message.data, which is a WebSocket message event. And all the backend's kind of set up to respond to that. And then actually invoke the OBS action said, and we get the result back. I'd like to dump this out in the console just to see exactly what we have there. We'll get that into our console logs, carried down. Here I'm just setting some of the state locally, because obviously you have to track what's happening within application as well as that of which you're interacting with. But we don't have a method set up to register our connect info. So we could go ahead and do that now. OBS WebSocket expects everything to be upper camel case, so we can like C# right here. Just for this plugin, we'll go with that. But right now, let's see, just what confirm that's how I'm sending it. It is, so this destruction right here, that's me just setting up my, yeah, that's good. So we're just gonna call it connect, and then that's only responsibility will be to connect to the server. So we'll probably get rid of this right here. Typically when a switch statement is getting to this kind of size, you might want to move to like an array of objects that represent potential actions and then the logic that can be invoked. Or maybe map it to event handler like .on or something like that. Which is something I'd keep an eye on. It's expecting a message and a socket, so it's going to be responsible for destruct. It's coming in a little bit out of sync about how I've done it elsewhere, but that's fine. Where's my connect method? It's right here. And then so when I set this up previously, it looks like I didn't even, all the connection info was handled internally. So I think we add you for a restart, but what was the name of the packet? It was obs.call, extremeobs.call. So we need to make sure this matches the front end. So let's hop over there, pop that in like so. Oops, chaos. Right, and then instead of calling this payload, we're calling it props, which is a little bit out of sync to how we're doing everywhere else. Scroll back up, have a look. Yep, it is accepting action name. Spelled dispatch wrong. So. So when I got to start coding as a kid, everything was open in Notepad. It didn't have tabs. So if you wanted to work on different files at one time, it's kind of a pain. And I think even led to like creating larger files to house your code instead of having multiple other ones, you know, which made it difficult for code reusability, all sorts of stuff. And when I got into coding, it was probably around 2007, 2006, and I blew off school to do it, as any kid would do. All right, quick server restart, and we also have to make sure that our OBS plugin is registered on our server layer. So if I go here, active faults, right? It's a small little plugin system that exists on the room context and the server context. But as you see, we are dealing with the require up here, but it does support MJS, it supports CGS, it supports everything. So as I'm building additional plugins, I build them as modules. But we have a server restart pending. So let me bring up another terminal window. You obviously have that built into your system right here. I like to get out of the way. pwd just gets you your current directory. cd into that. But it's fine. My terminal window is opened. There we go. cd. No, just start it up. unless it's already running, which it is. Go. See all the different plugins I created on the server layer. One of them is the OBS plugin. Why should be running on the server layer? Room layer. Why is it running on the server layer? Let's do some investigation here. Alright, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and hit our local IP with a reload. So just me as the chat quiet tonight. It's been quiet. Alright. Support OBS. This OBS Connect button should be hooked up to this little computer I've got on my lap here. Sorry. It's a second. Create the action, but we didn't hook it up to record. So let's rename this. Personally, I like being verbose with my naming of variables, methods, functions, anything. Only time you're going to get penalized for it would be like exchanging packets from client to server, server to client. You can always map your verbose action names to something shorter. Makes your code more self-documenting. And I notice when people get into coding, they get severely hung up over variable names and stuff. It's like, well, why does x equal 0? It's like, well, give it x a better name. How many cans of Coke equals 0? That makes no sense. We don't have to restart, we just have to pull up again. I believe we do have hot reloading set up because of the way I have a reverse proxy set up. Because we do need HTTPS to work for WebSockets to work correctly. It's a change in Chrome maybe a couple of years back. So we have intermittent hot reloading. I'm going to click record, see what it does. Spat. Oh. Let's get that typo there. So we're going to show the WebSocket server logs. I'm going to turn off and enable authentication just so we can get this up right now. We should be able to hit this again. Connected successfully to OBS stream, so it's going to be hard for you guys to see on the screens. All dusty. If you see right there, that is this web instance connected to it. So that's cool. I'm gonna have to hit record again, I guess, for it to pick up my result. It's not recording, but it's connected. So there might be some changes we have to look at. As far as like the protocol between WebSockets and this, which this logging was more helpful. All right, time to put logs documentation. WebSockets kind of independent of modern web today. It's how you have all your instant live chats on Discord, anyone else. Oh, so I can include it with the OBS Studio now. So I might just have an out-of-date WebSocket instance. Still want to look at the docs. Looks like this is included. So let's look at OBS version 30. We should be good. Now we're looking for the packets we wanted to trigger. I'm not going to pull this library down, I'm just going to look at it. We already did actually. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of power here. Ooh. Oh, this is handy. Very, very good. I want a big table of all the possible events. Identified. Oh, we forgot to pass our bloody action. That might have something to do with the A. Yeah, that looks more like it. So it's connected, but we didn't do anything. This should work as expected. Should get a recording on a blank OBS instance over here. Yes, that worked. Alright, let's quickly set up stop record. So I'm going to take too much work here. Long term, I want to get rid of the OBS situation completely, but a ton of people do use it, so I don't think it hurts to make this super easy to use with OBS. But we're going to end up moving to some native app development in the coming week or two. So it loads in Kynto just as you'd expect on a mobile phone, but to build custom modules and like additional functionality that the app layer can do and the web can't, my whole job is to kind of expose that to the web layer, and we'll be digging into that for mobile streaming. All right, let's test stop recording. We did not wire up that button. Go validate the property we're calling is indeed called stop record. Oh, right, yes it is. While we're in here, wire up start and stop stream. We are going to put some more logic in here, so that's why I'm defining separate handlers for everything. Dispatch action, start stream. We want one to terminate stream. Action. When it comes to implementing APIs, always do what you can and implement them on your backend. Doesn't matter if it's for WebSockets or it's through a RESTful API. You do not want your keys or your connection or authentication info to be leaked. And every bit of code you write that runs in the browser is publicly viewable. Doesn't matter if you obfuscate it, write it in C++ and then pull it in via WebAssembly. don't be pulled apart. Fire up a couple more buttons. What we'll actually come in and do is probably replace some of these with icons just to make it a little nicer, especially on the mobile viewport where this is going to be used. This could be more relevant than ever. Then I have to come back and add a condition just if we want to actually display what we want to display. And then we have an opportunity to break some of these out into additional components. We might just want to make like a record button component where it handles it decides if it wants to show both or one another. All right. You stumble into the stream, you don't know what it is. I live code this very system you see at the bottom part of your screen, guys. And it's all built into the YouTube live chat. Oh no. You get to see the sausage being made. Sometimes it's busy in here, other times it's quiet, other times I'm coding and things go wrong. I kind of just put it all up there. Some streams people get interested in coding, and some people have even helped each other. I've even stepped away to get coffee and came back and people were chatting to each other via the TTS system, which was really cool to see. All right, I think I'm good for a reload because my test computer's about to die anyway. Be mindful of time here as well, so make sure you subscribe. That is 3 AM for me. I do have a habit of staying up late and coding and even streaming late. I have a full-time job. Stop recording. Perfect, and that did stop recording. So if you see here, it actually outputted the URL of my recording. So very, very cool. Start streaming, it should just errorless what it does. Yep, starting output field is required. Perfect. So let's just go through now and put some icons here. Is there an FA icon for record? Like it. So FA icons, font awesome icons, widely available. It's nice in here. It's nice because we just have a ton of icons you can work with. So I'm not too happy with how states communicate from the back end to the front end here. Maybe what we'll do is when this component's first open, we're not moving anything into context this time. So we are letting the state just be managed locally by this component. So it might have it, so it asks the server for a status update when you first open it. And we'll subscribe to any server events that the server wants to send us right through here. What should we call it? State. And it's always nice to clean up your event listeners. Let's do that. We just return the arrow function and use effect. Folks know a better way to do stuff, or any feedback, please let me know. So there's a couple of things that I want to do when we get an is state. We're gonna
Samtech says, please, I'm just joining. What language is this?
Hey Samtech, appreciate you joining. Make sure you subscribe, because you just caught me at the end of a stream. Tonight we're working in JavaScript, and specifically the component you see open is coded in React. But you should see and hear your avatar on screen, right? It's all custom done, and that's basically what I'm streaming the process of coding. A lot to unpack and a lot of things to explore. And if you can, drop the video a like, but definitely make sure you subscribe, bud. One of the most disgusting things in JavaScript, though, is how falsy values are basically determined. And yeah, I'm curious you guys' thoughts on this. Best, so say I sent like this is connected property, right? Well, there's two cases. I send it and it's false, I send it or it's true. And then the third case is I don't send it at all. If I basically do a check to see if it's being sent or not, it's basically the equivalent of seeing if it's not false, which gets confusing, right? So the best way I've found is just to make sure it's different than null. This will essentially return undefined. It's one of those weird little JavaScript quirks, because even if this is false, we still won't be able to set this state here. So I think that'll get us going now. Typically in JavaScript, you'll see using 3 equal signs, but for falsy values, we don't want to be doing that, right? Oh, we don't have state for this shit. Appreciate the like, that does help us stream, and I appreciate the subscriptions tonight, guys. That's awesome. What I'm working on tonight and what you guys get to see is literally what's going to allow me to do some mobile streaming out and about while still having the Kynto avatars on screen, which I'm excited about. And obviously there'll be different modes, so one way to allow more camera view, I'll make the tiles invisible, so it'll just be avatars on the video. And I could do a quick demo of this, just because some folks probably don't even believe me this is done by this one system. But I'll show you it is. Let me see if I've got a phone here. So this is a technology that didn't always exist. Being able to stream media locally without a server, right? Obviously, it is going for a server to get to you guys. That's how you're watching it. But check this out. Let's see, my desk isn't too dirty. Alright, so I just joined on my phone, right? That's that little character walking about. check this out behind the scenes. So WebRTC lets me just take my phone right here and turn it into another streaming device. How cool is that? It's all custom coded, all built for this system. I can show you the OBS setup right there. We're basically making a little tool to control OBS while I'm out and about until I get to the point where I can phase OBS out completely. So it's exciting stuff. We've got custom avatars from all the different live chats. And there's a Commodore 64 up there if any of you guys are into retro stuff. Got a ton of cool stuff like that. But let me get this off the screen. Got a hot counter here. Turn that off. But we've had guests join this way. I've played games of chess with this. And like I said, my whole goal is to just get it so I'm not tied down to the office anymore. I spend enough time here and I enjoy it, but my family's desperate to get me home for a bit. If you don't know, I live in Florida, and most of the people here are very nice. There's a couple of them that I've met that wouldn't last very long in Europe, but what can I say? Alright. This is one of those projects that's literally like, some people when they see it be like, why would you do this? You know, like, I like learning. And just because I've been coding for a long time doesn't mean that I'm not interested in learning stuff. Like, you can get outdated within a bloody year, a couple of months if you don't stay up to date. But even just with the browser as it stands now, there's 20 APIs we've not explored yet. And, I've played with them a little bit more than most. Alright, so what I'm looking for now is we're going to make like a dispatch state. I'm just going to dispatch that every time we call an action, or we ask for the state. Looks like I'm missing a property here. Let's clean that up. And we're also going to come back in just a boring stream. I'm going to do like a mass refactor for most of these event names are in enum. But all these new ones are not. And it's just one of those things for speed that I've not touched, I've not got to completely yet. We're going to send the state to just the person or the whole room right now? Well, probably just the person. So we'll receive a socket here. Different and socket. Then we'll return. I like doing my guarding right at the top of the function, especially if there's not additional work to be done. And it also avoids nesting. Like, you might be tempted just to do, you know, if socket and then nest your code in there. Like to have my code as flat as possible. Okay. Let's say that it's this logic's sorted in a class, but it's fine. Okay, so we need our server context and we'll send to the socket, and then we'll specify our action name, which in this case will be Kynto OBS. And then we build up a little packet. Might just do that. It's an object, and do the magic. It's nice being able to use JavaScript for the front end and the back end. And essentially it's the data transfer protocol, like JSON, JavaScript Object Notation. You know, it says it in the name. Just plays so nice. Okay, we need some state info, such as disconnected.
Dylan R says hello.
Hey Dylan, buddy, good to see you on. I'm just coding that OBS plugin right now, so to make it so Kynto can control OBS. How have you been doing? Alright, so next up will be...
Very good, I'm in math a bit off time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's you back to school now, eh? You're still keeping up on how to code though, right? Yeah, I got in trouble from the math teacher in America. And she's like, oh, you just don't want to learn algebra. Little did she know I was sitting there on my little notepad trying to figure out how to do a depth sorting algorithm for my little isometric game. I think coding is actually a good way to teach kids math.
Pixel heart, I'll send you them.
Awesome, yeah, so Dylan's been wanting to get some pixel art in Kynto, and I do have to get him some of the assets so he can play around with it, but that's great, Dylan, yeah. Just for anyone else, whoops, maybe I'll do why is this disconnected? Oh, because it's connected on my phone. But just a reminder to anyone else here, I did create a little pixel program in Kynto. It's kind of a fun little experiment. Each one of these little pixels are actually divs. So it's completely done with a JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. And it's hooked up to Canvas, so it generates like a little image down here. But I do need to code it so you can save your creations. I think I coded save, but it's just a local storage. So we need to get that in MongoDB, which is what I use for my NoSQL database. So we're gonna have to set up a MongoDB schema for that. Come back, do that, make a gallery. Yeah, Dylan, you would appreciate this. And give you the ability to upload an image you've already done. Let's see, did I code that? No, I didn't. Yeah, so that'll be one of the little lighter streams that we'll do, get all that hooked up. Let's see what other state properties can communicate. I think that's it. All right, so now I need to register an emitter listener for an update. Oh, we can actually pop that in call. Pop that in here, so that's okay. So let's go down here. Do I get rid of this? Yeah, I put this a wee bit backwards, I'll be honest. Alright, be mindful of time, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm usually on here each night during the week, and we've actually done alright in the subscribers tonight, so I appreciate you 7 folks that have subscribed to the stream tonight. I appreciate anyone asking questions and showing their support. Yeah, I've built, I'd say 99% of this in isolation. So we might re-architect this just a little bit right now. Did I plug in that test computer? Yes, I did. Oh, there's so much to play with here. There's fun stuff. See, I genuinely enjoy it. It helps. We don't want this to be that for us. We also want to do a call for the down and then have the state set by OBS set. Let's see. This might be one of the instances I asked ChatGPT for an output of possible packets and response. These. It's not helpful. It looks like there's a request for get record status. Let's see real quick. Okay, that's I'm going to write some test code essentially to see just what we can pull out of our connection here. That's the call. Okay. Well, I'll pull out because we're tracking state on the back end. No, if you actually invoke invoke record, but we actually want to ask OBS if that actually happened. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Well, I guess we can actually. I think we're going to refactor this whole big block, make something a little bit more dynamic. Let's start with this stuff. All right. So it is. Await this call. And so I'll do the same for streaming. I have to make this async. Alright, what other useful things could we pull from OBS? Well, we could pull stuff like if the mic's active or not. This might lead to be a crazy situation because not only can this control OBS now, but it also controls what's in the scene and stuff. So it's gonna get nuts. I might have to release like a proper plugin for OBS for people to use. That would be sweet. What is expected here? Oh. You can also set up listeners for this. There's like 3 different ways we can get what we need. Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll just wire this up and I'll come back and expand it. So what I need to do is take these values. First, we need to see what the values are.
I sent.
Alright, Dylan, I'll have a wee look.
need to do chat icon also.
Yeah, that would be sick. Oh man, I'm really happy to hear you're interested in this. Let's see. Oh dude, that's cool. I like your eyes, they're very cartoony. Yeah, you gotta keep on this. And feel free to let anyone know how you're doing the pixel art, because I think you're doing it on a phone, right? Well, that's awesome. Just so you know, I have a whole system that makes it really easy to get art into Kynto as well. So this isn't for users, users don't see this, so don't get scared. Anyone that would get scared by such a thing. Where is the registry? Hold on. There we go. So I have like an asset registry that handles like everything. So like here, if you wanted like a light in the system, we control like the scale, like it's shown at its scale, its category, description, all that stuff. So yeah, Dylan, it's really easy to get your stuff in. I'll literally just add a new record for it. You can load it in. Yeah, no worries. And then maybe if you want as well, we could make a little panel where you could upload stuff. And you'd be able to get it in the catalog here, so you would see it. Let's see, you would see it in here. So maybe I can make like a little thing that just shows for you what's starting up. You click it and you'd see your stuff in it. So you immediately have that instant feedback, you get something in the game.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, then I will dedicate a stream to just doing that. Because once I do it for you, then we can get other people who are hopefully interested in the future as well. Because as you know, Dylan, we need more art. That's why I'm excited to get into it. Alright, these popular listeners here. So now I'm getting this set up. I need to go back to front-end code and actually listen for the state update. And I think we are doing that, right? Handle state. And we're looking for two properties. So we're going to hide is streaming and is recording. We're going to use that to decide which buttons to show and disable. So let's start with just disabling them. So to do that, and we smell and react. Just go disable equals this essentially. And let's backtrack it. Wait, no, we're going to do one here. So if this is recording, you do have to like, what's it called? Oh, you call it when you make a false a true a false. Right, that's what you have to do for a second.
Is Discord chat linked?
Oh crap, let me go turn that on. Keep in mind there. So what Dylan's referring to is I have this little panel here, and then I click start connection. It is now Dylan. Give it a go. Now when Dylan or anyone else messages in Discord, the messages will go through. Right into the chat, right into the stream. I need to set up some buttons as well. I didn't get to tonight. So we can let everyone know in Discord when we're hosting a stream.
Discord _Bros15 says hello.
There you go. Cheers, Dylan. Just showing the system. Super clean when it works so nicely. Time for a server restart here. Oh. I'm actually going to hit start record on my local test computer here and see if this can deduce it. I think I missed the opportunity to add that down. Let me see. Start it anyway. 3:32 a.m. So this is another reminder. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. We'll pick it back up tomorrow, but stick around for a wee bit more here. Oh, and I broke everything. Very nice. Socket. Oh, that was my fault. I didn't pass the socket I wanted to send the result to. Maybe there's a... It's lost it. State not defined.
I sent a message in live chat, I think it's too long.
Alright, let's have a look. Is it possible to make users able to pop up a pic in speech bubble? So do you mean like a custom image? So I do get your YouTube image, so I could probably use that. But if you want to explain that a wee bit. One of the next things that you have to set up is Google sign-ins. People from YouTube can come in and control their characters fully without having to go through the live chat. Cheers for that subscription tonight, guys. Your support helps me greatly.
Like if I send a pic, you can see it in a speech bubble.
Oh, that's true. It'd be harder to moderate that though. So maybe for like very trusted people, but yeah, I'd be worried about moderation with that. You know what I mean? But we could make like an approved list of like stuff like emojis or something. You should have a like tonight. Helps get the word out about the project. Let's see if our viewer count's working. Let's see if our like count's working. Brilliant.
Amir Khan says, hey CodeLoch, what's up man?
Hey Amir, good to see you, welcome back. So right now I'm coding a plugin basically to interface with OBS and to control it. Make it a little easier to do streams on the road. So kind of stumbling around that a little bit, set up the front end for it and the plugin layer on the back end. Let's see, we did have an issue though. Crash. But Amir, make sure you drop a like. You'd already subscribed, so much appreciate that. It just makes it so we get some more folks on. I will be back on tomorrow, obviously. Populate state. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, it would have been just easier to send this to everyone in the room, honestly. But we'll get through it. Populate with the state. There's two things we have going on here. Let's see. Back up. Amir, what's new with you? How's your week going? Start our server here. Yes, we did. Alright, my test recording is still running. Best taking up all my memory. That's fine. Connect, see if any of this responds. Nothing responded. Are we outputting anything in the server?
I like this song currently.
Yeah, we're gonna have to actually work on song stuff because I want to get way more songs and I want to get it up to the other platforms as well, you know what I mean? Take that, let's see. So the ability to disconnect. That's set up already, perfect. That 19 people watching, make sure you like and subscribe for more development stuff.
I don't think it works anymore, but music might help. It's 2 songs.
Yeah, give it a sound. Guys, it's currently 3:41 AM where I'm at to get up for work, but as usual I just want to keep coding.
My first message did not go through.
Links do get filtered out. Hey Wormzone, welcome to the chat. You've joined a pretty unique setup here on YouTube. These are all custom little avatars represent people who have chatted with us. And, basically hold conversations as I sit here and develop this very piece of software. And Dylan, I've got so much to explore on the YouTube side, man. Bear with me and we'll get the TTS panel up, because I don't want any message to not be read out. I want everyone's message to be read out. So that's where this TTS panel comes in. And I do have a new method of getting the YouTube chat with a lower latency as well. But it requires us running it on the local server here. So we've got some, some interesting things to do, including spinning up a new VM to run locally. Because YouTube doesn't accept connections from the chat system from servers hosted on Amazon. Probably keep bots down, but we do need a bot to listen to the chat, because we want to decrease the latency. And we also want to get it when people click said hi, that it reads a message out. I don't like that that doesn't get included. I don't like that one bit. This whole method is pissing me off. Yeah, it shouldn't be this ugly. Right. So maybe we could set up a listener from here, eh? Let's take a look at the docs, refresh my memory. Alright, so now, oh, this should be on. This OBS on. To automatically populate a state when it's actually connected. Well, there's a difference between connection and being identified. We might replace this with this identified. We'll replace our dispatch state to actually go to the entire room, just keep it simple. So we can do that pretty easily. Let's type this room, send all. And our packet, which is Kynto. Oh. A friendly reminder to all to like and subscribe. I have to shut this stream down soon because I have to go to sleep. And, your support tells the algorithm that we should have more avatars on screen. That's basically what it says. Send all. It's fine. This anymore. What I might do is build out like a map of actions to properties to show that. So keep your mouth shut and set this up for another test. Restart. I do wish the MacBook Airs had a touchscreen now. Connected here, but did we pull our state info? Yes, update the state. It's perfect. That works. Equipment action length. A socket not identified. Let's hit that again. Sockets and sockets and sockets. Not convert. Looks like the sockets time out pretty quickly. Nope, still working. Not convert undefined and null to object. So that must be happening in a populate state situation. Populate latest state. I'm not calling it at all. Right, we're still missing something. Cool. Let's build some error handling into this. Oh, yes, we want the action. Wrap it in a try catch. It was nice to have helper functions or APIs you call frequently that likely to throw errors. So you put in your login there. That's worry about the crash and taking your server either. So we'll replace this with what I might do as well is I should have waited this time. Next, not wire that up. Let's go wire that up. We'll start winding this down, guys. This is 4 AM. I guess maybe 4 hours of sleep if I'm okay, which is a bit rough.
OO_senpai says hi there. I am new.
Hey, welcome, welcome. I caught us just in time. So, just so you know, you get a little unique avatar, right? And there's all sorts of different commands you can use to customize it. You get a unique voice and stuff, and I kind of just built this thing live on stream. So what I would like you to do, if you can, is just make sure you like and subscribe, but definitely subscribe. That way you can join us for the next one as well. But I appreciate you stopping by and saying something.
I am learning web development for 1 month now. Learned HTML, CSS, and JS a little.
Fantastic. Yeah, so this whole project that you're seeing is coded in JavaScript, CSS, and HTML essentially. I do use React, WebGL, and Canvas and stuff to, push the browser a little bit further. But I'm always happy to chat with you about code, and I'll go ahead and drop the Discord link for you because I think you'd be perfect to join a Discord. We have a lot of people that are into coding and learning how to code on there. What got you interested in coding?
You seem professional.
Appearances can be deceiving, but no, I appreciate you. I've been a professional programmer for, about 15 years now, and coding over 20 years.
Whoa, boss. I shall call you boss.
I'll put that on my resume.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the chat. How are you doing tonight?
By the way, you have a little time? If you do, can you check the portfolio I built and suggest some improvements?
Yeah, absolutely. Some folks have requested I check out the stuff before, and yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the like. But so you can either send it to me in Discord, or you can send it to my email. Let me drop my email. So go ahead and do that, and we'll definitely make some time for that.
Awesome. That's 5 likes now. Your support helps others discover this stream.
Turn Kynto up, it's a little bit quiet.
I'll do that. I'll send it from an email named Pixel Pockets.
Flagline says,
awesome.
what are you coding?
I'm coding this little system you're chatting with me through. So it's coded in JavaScript, and use a lot of cool stuff to put it together, namely like WebGL, Canvas, WebSockets, WebRTC. And but right now I'm coding a plugin layer to control OBS. So right now this is what I use to disable my screens to capture my desktop so you guys can see it, and to put the cameras together. But when I take it to the next level and actually have it fully control OBS, so if I'm out and about I can have an avatar chat with me. So you're kind of getting to see that journey if you like. Feel free to like and subscribe to see more of it. I will be doing a little portfolio review tomorrow. Sometimes people send in projects to take a look at. And Flagline, I really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Over time, it's getting a little bit easier to describe what it is, but that's it.
Why my texts are not popping?
So just so you know, I've still got to finish the chat queue. So sometimes if someone else speaks before your message is read out, it cuts it off. But I will be fixing that. I already have code laid out to fix it. We're gonna have a little TTS panel right here. So messages just build up in this little stack, and they'll wait till they're read out before moving on to the next one. And I have different modes, so you know I can play them manually. Or the other thing is I want to build in voice detection. So if I'm speaking, it waits till I'm done talking and then plays them. So we'll play around with a couple of different things to get that done. Alright, start connect, disconnect. Okay, that's hooked up. Alright. That local server. Almost 4 AM here, so just a little reminder, we'll be shutting this down.
I literally been building my portfolio since day one, so it's my 1 month worth of time, lol.
Alright, that's no problem. And if anything, you're just going to be open more to feedback and maybe hearing some different ideas and stuff that you could do.
I know it's not that good though.
Well, you know what's important is you're doing it, you're building it, putting it together, and you're learning the things you have to get it done. So that's good no matter how you cut it. I'll give you just some real life experience. Like when it comes to jobs or working on projects you want to work on, people want to know that you are capable of learning on your feet more so than what you've done before. And at least the jobs I've worked at, as long as I was able to show them that hey,
I mean, it contains just HTML, CSS, and a little JS. I am not even 15 in age XD.
Well, so when I started coding, I was a lot younger than you, and this is all JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. This little project we're using to talk to each other. Like what I'm trying to say is the limits on it are there's very little limits. It's just like how big is your imagination, and how can you apply that to what you build. I think the younger you are that you get into coding, it doesn't hurt, not one bit. All right, I'm stumbling around a wee bit here. Let's see, why did that crash? It doesn't matter if there's 40-year-olds listening to this. If you want to get into coding, get into it as soon as possible. It's fun. How to keep your mind strong. And there's stuff that you would want to do that no one else is doing. So plus it's free. That's why I got into it. It's literally free. So we're running some binding issues here. I'm not being populated. Is that possible? Oh, that's what's happening. Alright, so according to my little plugin infrastructure here, when you register a plugin, you're supposed to populate which properties you want to have dependency injected, basically. That's what's screwing me over there. Alright, 5-minute countdown, guys. Make sure you're subscribed so you have a chance to see joining these streams in the future. If you're not interested in watching the day-to-day process and progress, You might be interested in seeing how this goes on YouTube. So I assure you, it very much has been. All right. Why do I feel like this plugin's been loaded on the server and not into the...
I want to see your live every day. Literally getting advice from someone like you was my greatest wish until now.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Any questions, any code stuff? You're perfectly, it's a good place for it. Okay. We're running into a binding issue or what here with this, but we're about to find out.
For now I am very bad in CSS, like I know how to do my stuff, but I just watched the Brew Codes tutorial on YT, so I just know what he taught.
Well, I think you're already a step ahead, because I don't want you to fall into the trap of using AI to build your stuff for you. At least not yet, because you want to learn some of the fundamentals first. So I think it's good that you're literally trying to study CSS. And I'll tell you, anyone in the web development in chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but CSS isn't exactly, you know, every web developer's favorite tool in the box, even though
then I was doing my mistake.
Yeah, no, just be aware of the fact it can inhibit your learning a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I know Dylan's grappling with that. Like,
I mean, I used a little chat GPT just to fix.
Well, that's fine, but you know what you need to ask it? You need to ask ChatGPT, like, give me advice on how to fix these sort of problems myself in the future, because it can be very helpful for stuff like that. You can use it like a tutor. You want to use it as like a teacher as opposed to just getting the right answer from it. So it is a powerful tool, man. Like it's incredibly powerful, but oh my god, I'm convinced that we're loading this in the server. I think we are actually. Look, yep, we are. That's problematic. Let's get that out of there. Let's go back into a room. So I might have been working on this and not even.
So I will just use teaching prompt from now on instead of it giving me code. Thanks a lot, man. I was in a deep loophole.
100%. And if you like see something in a video or a tutorial that you want, like you don't understand, ChatGPT is good at helping you understand that. You got to imagine what happens, like, what if the internet gets turned off? Can you still make a website? Like, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but like services do go down. So do we have two instances of this plugin? Is that what's happening? So I think I just locate my issue here. So yes, all right, let's restart her again.
How to get even better in CSS. I mean, there are many properties bro code didn't teach that I see in CodePen while learning things.
Honestly, just experience. And did you know that, like, if you're on a website if you like find a website with something cool and you want to know how to put it together, like say you just go on my little web app here, right? And say you wanted to see, I don't know what this was, you could right click it and click inspect, and you get your inspector window up, and then you see like all the HTML that's basically been rendered for that page, and you see all the CSS on the right and the styles bar, right? So you can just click through any of that stuff and you can kind of see all the CSS that was used to style it. Let's watch. There's an animation in here. You might not notice it at first. It's really subtle. But let me see if I can get it up. All right. So you see how the eyes are kind of bouncing up and down? That's very zoomed out for you guys. Let me zoom in a bunch. Not too many. So do you kind of see how these eyes are bouncing up and down? It's because of the CSS animation. So here I found the element, right? I highlighted over the emoji. If you look here, I created a little animation, and that's what's running. So you can literally see it running in the browser. So the CSS animations are very cool. I recommend you look into them right away. Just literally Google CSS animations. Dig into that, because you can do cool stuff with it. And you're going to find, like, I don't know, maybe in a year or two, that CSS has its limits, and you'll find there's other tools in the web that also let you code really cool stuff, like animations. That's how I coded this whole little world. I used the canvas tag for it. But yeah, focus on leveling up your CSS.
By the way, your stream will look better running in full screen.
That's true. Typically I do stream on Twitch as well under the same username. But I'll just tell you real quick, I broadcast on Twitch with a full screen, but I'll tell you a little reason why I do it on portrait mode on YouTube. So I only have like a handful of subscribers, right? It's not a big channel. If I was to run these lives on YouTube, no one would see them. But if I run them as a little short, like portrait mode, the YouTube algorithm is more likely to push the stream so people can come and join. So I plan to eventually switch over to doing full screen streams completely. But right now we just want to build out a little bit of an audience. So that's why I'm doing it, you know?
I mean, in the level in, you will get more subs in no time.
I appreciate that. Definitely, if you ever have the opportunity to share the channel or anything, please let me know. Please feel free to share the channel to anyone you think would be interested. All right. Ah. Thinking once we wrap up this OBS plugin here, it'll actually be easier for me to run a full screen stream on YouTube. So I think once we're able to get through this, I was hoping to do it tonight, but I just ran up against the clock. And even if I wake up like 30 minutes later tomorrow, still not a ton of sleep. And I appreciate your like, Lade. That helps the channel out. Gets us some more exposure here and gets some more avatars on screen.
Awesome. That's 6 likes now. Your support helps others discover this stream.
Goat Motions says Assalamu alaikum asterisk.
Well, I appreciate your honesty there. Got Motions, hello. Thank you for the well wishes. So now I switched this from a server plugin to a room plugin. It's just not running, which is a bit annoying. Just a bit. To ask ourselves, why wouldn't it be running now? Have an entry for it. Let's see. That shouldn't be interfering with it one bit. So calling it OBS. Interesting. Where are we injecting our dependencies? Ooh. So that's where we populate context. What was passing in? What dependencies in that?
One new subscriber.
Thank you. Now 3180 for subscribers now. We've been really well tonight in this past month specifically. The channel's been growing quite well. Even though I'm struggling tonight, debugging this. I'm tempting to just do all the debugging and all that stuff offline, but when you guys don't get to see like the reality of this, it's messy. It's messy to do. So our OBS plugin's just not registering anymore. Let's take a look at our Twitch integration. Let's see what's different. Too much. We have load, we have unload. This might be hanging out. Let's move that out into load. Oh, this is the issue. We didn't call the blood. We didn't give it a correct name. Oh, it's always going to be the simple stuff. There we go. That's what happened there. So not the thing, but it should be connected now. Yes, okay, cool. And the correct button did unhighlight to stop recording. Let's see if it works. And it did. So we have our OBS file name for that recording now. Perfect. We just have to have these buttons states updated properly.
Why my comment getting deleted?
You mean like YouTube chats removing your comment? Definitely make sure you join the Discord. So if there's any, like if YouTube's removing your comment wrongly, you can help me figure that out. And I'll figure out what's going on there. And just so you know, you can chat. Okay.
Yes, it auto-deleted.
Alright, no worries. So a couple of things. There is a live stream chat on YouTube. Check this out. So if you type in this channel on Discord,
this chat is right from Discord.
You have an instantaneous way to talk to us without YouTube deleting your comment. It still gets moderated, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't get like auto removed from YouTube first. So I'll go ahead and drop the Discord link again. And right guys, I'm gonna have to call it here. Thank you tonight for joining. This has been great. And okay, Senpai, please make sure you join the Discord if you can. I'd love to stay on tonight. We're getting a lot of engagement and I'm enjoying it. But I do have to get up. I have to keep bills paid so I can keep coming on here and showing you guys what I really want to do with my time. And,
I did join.
Brilliant. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, just so you know for future, the channel you're looking for is called livestream-chat. But you can just let me know in general or send me a direct message to, you know, let me know what messages you sent on YouTube that got automatically removed. That way I can fix it if I can do anything about it in my settings for the channel. Because as long as it wasn't like insulting or something, like you should have got through.
In general.
Okay. Let me have a wee look. Okay, so I just asked you what the comment it was that it removed on YouTube. So
No insulting, just a normal comment. I am not like those guys who insult people online.
No, and I appreciate you. You come across very well. So if you have a wee look on Discord, I was just asking you what the comment was that got deleted, so that way we can get to the bottom of it. Yep, I definitely will check out your portfolio for next time as well. It's not a problem. You guys are making it hard to get off because people keep hopping on the stream, but yeah, it's good to see. Let's see though. Oh, there is one thing I want to validate. We call a method to OBS this way. Do we get a response back?
What time it is in your country? I guess you should sleep.
Yeah, I probably should. So I'm originally from Scotland, and it would be probably about 9 a.m. there, but I live in Florida now, so it's 4:24 a.m. So I think you're right. I should get to sleep. Guys, make sure you subscribe and like this, and I appreciate your support tonight. If you want to see more development of this system where live chat is literally part of the stream, we code this stuff together, and I check out what you guys code, and we give each other feedback. You stumbled on something interesting. And yeah, that's it. I think we'll leave it there. And I appreciate the additional like. Let's see. Bump up.
Boom. Like number 7. You're helping this project go viral.
Wouldn't that be funny? How many avatars can we support on screen? I
Bye
genuinely
man,
don't
be
know.
well. I am in your opposite time country, so I guess I'll meet you in midnight again.
Shabam Mishra says before you go to sleep, please tell me what languages should I learn.
Shabam, please take a look at JavaScript, because you can do it on
To be
web, you
able
can
to
do it on
make
server.
games.
Ooh. Well, it gets a little bit more interesting there. I think you can build cool web games. You can do 3D, you can do augmented reality, you can do VR all on web. And I'm happy to do a stream on that and get into the details of like why I think you should do web development for games. But the easiest one, if you wanted to just jump into something tonight, you could download Unity. It uses C#. So there's a couple of different options. And what I'd recommend to you is you join the Discord, because this is a question a lot of the folks have on there as well. And appreciate you catching me before I dropped off. That's really funny. So there's the Discord. Just go ahead and introduce yourself and just ask the question again, and I'll get back to you and we'll see what other folks have to say as well. I'm going to push you on the web route though. I think you should do JavaScript. You can do a lot with the browser. Just a little reminder, even just this little world I created in here, this is all JavaScript.
Great,
A bit of it.
thanks a lot. I heard Go language is also good for games.
I've heard that as well. I'm not too familiar which, like what platform you'd code your games in for Go, but I know Go is like one of the fastest languages there is around. So that might be something we explore together. I genuinely want to learn more, and I'm happy to pick up another language in the process. But great questions, and yeah, tonight's was a great stream. Really enjoyed this. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, enough then.
1 new subscriber.
That's cool how that works. All right, see you tomorrow.